Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Toasted Sushi Podcast. And today we will continue what we left off in the previous episode, and that is rating all the 47 prefectures of Japan. This is part 2, where we will do the next 10 prefectures in Japan, starting off with the first one, that is Saitama. So in Saitama, you have the art museum. It's an art museum, and it's a bonsai art museum. Bonsai being, the small trees, like the art decorative kind of trees that they grow, which are like very small miniature dwarf kind of trees, those. Then we have another shrine called the Toki Shrine. Then we have the railway museum. Saitama is known for the history of railway. Saitama is known for the trains. It has a really good looking station. So we have the Saitama Railway Museum. Then we have the Oka Strawberry Farm. I don't think I need to explain a lot what it is. It's a strawberry farm. Saitama has good strawberries. So that. And lastly, we have something that is a bit more of a personal thing, which I feel a lot of us will be able to relate to this. And that is a place, actually, a city, the name of which all of us, I hope all of us know. Like, we will recall the name of this city. Okabe City. Yes, the city in which Shinchan takes place. So yeah, Okabe City is a real place situated in the prefecture of Saitama, and the entire city has a whole Shinchan theme to it. Like, the railway station has, I think most of it is placed around the railway station area, where they have a Shinchan museum. The railway station has the Kasukabe City, like the Shinchan music playing in the background. So also, every single railway station in Japan has a theme to it. So like every station has a different music in it. So fun fact. And they also have stamps. So if you go, take a book with you, get the stamps of every single place you go to. Coming back to this, Kasukabe City, a really cool nostalgic experience if you do go there. I will, hopefully, my goal at some point is to visit all the places that I note in this podcast, or in these episodes, coming episodes and the previous one. Going to each prefecture over time and, visiting all these places, even more, making more content, like more IRL content, vlogs about this, just going there, visiting these places. I will do those eventually when I am in Japan. I'm not there yet. So those are the places. Now coming over to the foods, we have first one, tofu ramen. Very self-explanatory. It's ramen with tofu in it. The main attraction, like instead of the meat, it is tofu. Then we have miso potato. Again, it's a dish which is made out of miso paste and potatoes. Cool. We have tomato curry. So usually, we know about the Japanese curry, also called the golden curry. This is like the tomato version of it. Like, there's not really a lot to say about it. It's the tomato version of the Japanese curry. Next, we have unagi. That is eel. Also a very big delicacy in Japan, unagi. I think Saitama and Tokyo has one of the best ones. Then we have jelly fries. Let me just look it up. So, and the next one is jelly fries. And no, it is not fries made out of jelly. It is actually this dish that is not like meat or anything. It is actually like a unbattered croquette kind of thing. Like they made croquettes out of potatoes and stuff. But it is actually made out of this thing called as okara, or soy pulp, and vegetables. So like potatoes, carrots, green onions, all these things, they mix them up and make this stuff. It is like it's a cutlet kind of thing. It's basically like a vegetable cutlet with soy paste in it. Then, so that was places and foods of Saitama. As much as it is, Saitama isn't that interesting. So I will give it a D tier. It is not that interesting, but it has some parts. Also, from the last episode, I want to revise something. I previously put Fukushima in the D tier, but I completely forgot about one thing that is in Fukushima, and that is one of my favorite places in Japan that I have talked about in the past episodes, and that is the Fukushima Daiichi, the nuclear reactor that went off, and the whole exclusion zone there. That is a place that I really want to visit and just know how life has come back over there. What we couldn't do in Chernobyl. What is the difference between Chernobyl and this place? So I will revise Fukushima from D tier to straight an A tier. Why Daiichi? I'll just say it's a personal bias. And this is my tier list, what I prefer. So if anything, personal bias is good. It should be there. Anyway, going back to prefecture number 12, we have Chiba Prefecture. The first place Chiba Prefecture, by the look of it, is something that it's a very touristy place, you could say. Here we have the Tokyo Disney Sea and Disneyland. So Chiba Prefecture has a part of Tokyo in it as well. So like Chiba is a lot of times just part of Tokyo as well. It is connected to that. So yeah, in Chiba we have the Tokyo Disney Sea and Disneyland. Then we have Mount Nokogiri, which is also a mountain. Then we have the Norita-san Temple. We have Yoro Valley, which is a very beautiful looking valley. I've seen pictures of it. We have Sogawa Sea World, again a tourist destination, a Sea World, very beautiful place again. Now coming to foods, we have the katamen, which is a spicy version of ramen. We have the sesame sardines, a fish dish where I think sardines are grilled with sesame seeds. Then we have namero, which is fish paste. What I've written is fish paste ? So it's fish paste. In Japan, fish paste is a big thing. Like they make a lot of stuff with that, like they fry it and stuff. So I guess this would be like the base for it. Then we have gao ramen, which is actually something that sounds really disgusting. I can't trust this one because it is ginger and milk ramen. Who thought of this? Like, I love Japan, but come on. Ginger and milk, bro? Come on. That's a medicine. And FYI, I hate ginger. I absolutely despise ginger. Then finally we have futomaki, which is a version of sushi. So looking at all these, Chiba feels like a nice place. It's a very touristy place. So I'll give it a C for Chiba. And it's a very touristy place. I don't really like touristy places. And now, prefecture number 13, King, the big boy. We have Tokyo. Yes, Tokyo is a prefecture, not just a city. So, in Tokyo, which is the first place you would go? Guess is Shibuya. Yeah. You go Shibuya, you pray to Gojo, you wish him good death, and you go back. Then you can go to the Kugikan. Then you go to the Kokugikan, which is a sumo arena. So you can go watch sumo wrestling. Then of course we have the Tokyo Tower and the Tokyo Skytree, amazing place. We have Asakusa, the Temple Street, amazing place. We have Odaiba, which is like this industrial-esque island, which has one of the best art exhibits, that is Team Labs. So you should definitely go to Odaiba to watch Team Labs, and which is one thing that is unfortunately, I don't think it's there anymore, but that is Gundam base. And the Gundam base is still there. I think the big Gundam, they removed it from there. I don't know if it was the Odaiba one or the other one, which had the RX-78, the large one. I don't know which one that was, but yeah. Odaiba also has the Gundam base, so go buy Gunpla there. Then we have Akihabara, every otaku's dream. Mine too. Then we have the Ameyokocho, which is Ameyoko Market, which is like a street of you get street food, sake. There are little bars there, just a real cool place, good for night. Then we have Yoyogi Park, which is a very big park, a lot similar to the one in America, in New York. Similar to that, like the Central Park of Tokyo. Then we have Shinjuku, and in Shinjuku especially, you can go to this place called Golden Guy. If you're fine with going through cramped spaces and stuff, you like Golden Guy, it's amazing for photography. Then we have Jimbocho, especially something that I recommend people should visit, because it is a street, or it is more like a part of the city, which is just full of bookshops. So if you like books, go to Jimbocho and buy a fuck ton of books. Then for foods, we have just everything, The thing about Tokyo is that Tokyo is the center, it's the capital. You have everything. You can get everything here. All of Japan comes to Tokyo. Everything meets in Tokyo. So food wise, if I have had to recommend, I'd say try sushi, ramen, curry, yakitori, wagyu beef, tempura. Try all these things in Tokyo. Of course, try these out in their places as well. For wagyu, try it out in Kobe as well. So this is like the place where you can try out everything. And without any doubt, Tokyo just goes straight into S tier. Like, there is not even a competition about it. I'm not even gonna talk about it. Okay, I'm not even gonna think that Tokyo would be anywhere below S tier. It's the GOAT. And now, coming ahead to the 14th prefecture, we have Kanagawa. For places in Kanagawa, we have the city of Yokohama, which has the Cup Noodles Museum. Yes, cup noodles. The museum for that. Then we have Kamakura, which has the Great Buddha statue, and also this place called as Enoden Runs, which is also a very beautiful place that you should visit. We have Ko Lake, Noshima Island. We have where you can get these thing called as century eggs. We have Capybara Land, a place called Pui Pui, which is also called as Capybara Land, and we have Gawara Castle. So again, Kanagawa, full of places to visit. Definitely a recommendation. We have for foods, we have Iekei Ramen, another variant of ramen. We have the Yokosuka Naval Curry. So basically, like, Japan's Navy used this curry, this form of curry. So this is like Navy inspired curry, like what the naval forces ate. This that kind of a curry. Then of course you have the century egg from Owakudani, which is like 100-year-old eggs. They're not, I don't think they're really 100-year-old, but yeah, they're like fully these black colored eggs, and like they look really, really fucking disgusting. But it is said that eating an egg gives you a year in life. So yeah. Then we have Nikuman, which is pork buns. We have Shirasu, the white bait rice. So white bait is basically, bait, the bait for the fish. So in Japan, they eat bait as well. Like in Japan's bait is edible. So yeah, bait rice. And then we have Yokohama beef, one of the, again, highest versions of beef. So with that, we give Kanagawa, since it's a pretty decent place and there's a lot of stuff to visit, I'll give it a A tier. Alright, coming on to the next prefecture, we have Niigata. In the places of Niigata, the first one is called Kiyotsu Shrine. We got Kiyotsu Gorge. Again, a gorge, a very beautiful place. It's a very good view, you could say. Next one is Sado Island, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and also has gold mines. I don't think they are functional anymore, but that is there, so it's a very cool thing to go visit. The next up, we have multiple like sake breweries which you can visit, and Niigata also has a sake railway station. So basically, like, the railway station has this entire, like, you could say, room or like a space where it has multiple dispensers where you can go and taste different kinds of sake. It's a really cool thing. It has like a wide variety of flavors. Next, we have the Teradomari fish market. Again, it's a fish market, always an amazing experience to visit that. I haven't visited one, but it looks like a cool experience. Again, let me just tell you guys this, that I am talking about this entire thing of just visual and video online knowledge, not personal experience. I have not been to Japan, so like, just take whatever I say with a grain of salt. Like, just, I am not 100% knowledgeable on this stuff until I have actually seen it on my own. Next up, for foods, we have this thing called noppe stew. So it's a kind of stew made in Niigata. Then we have hegi soba, Niigata's version of soba noodles. Then we have suruten, which is like this alternative version of tempura. We have sasadango, which is mochi served inside leaves. So that's a really cool way to sell mochi. Then we have this thing called a popoyaki. So it's probably some fried thing, because yaki means frying or grilling. It's probably something around that. And next one is black yakisoba, which is yakisoba made with squid ink. Yeah, they add squid ink to it to make it black. And with that, I'll give Niigata a D tier. There's not a lot of like cool places there. It's alright. It's very alright. Next up, prefecture number 16. We have Toyama. So in Toyama, the first place is Takaoka, which has one of the, not the biggest, but has a pretty big Daibutsu, that is Buddha statue. That's a very nice place to visit. Then we have the Ainokura Gassho community, so which is like this village kind of place of the Gassho community. So it's like, I think, one of the tribe, I guess you could say. Then we have the Amaharashi coast, and well, it's a coast, so like beaches and stuff, really beautiful. We have Shomyo Falls, which is one of the first waterfalls I think I've added to the list. Then we have Mount Tateyama. I think that is where Shomyo Falls is as well. So yeah, it's another mountain, really beautiful to see. For foods, we have Kamburi, which is winter yellowtail, a type of fish. Then we have firefly squid. I think these are like small squids, which you can like. They serve a lot of them. Then we have Japanese glass shrimp. I think these are shrimp that are like transparent, borderline transparent in color. Then we have eels. We have red snow crabs, and then this thing called kombujime, which is I think something made out of seaweed, because kombu means like seaweed. Then similar to Niigata, has black ramen. Unlike Niigata's black yakisoba, we have black ramen, which is also made out of squid. So looking at all that, I will give Toyama also a D tier. Nothing very special, but it's not bad enough to go into E or F. I don't think anything goes to F, to be honest. Alright, prefecture number 17. We have Ishikawa. So, to begin with Ishikawa, we have Omicho Market, which is in Kanazawa, one of the biggest fish markets in Japan. Then we have ruins of the Nagomachi Bukeyashiki, which is like the remains of samurai houses. So it's a really beautiful place to visit, very historical. We have the Motor Car Museum. If you're interested in cars, you should definitely visit that. Then we have the Suzumi Gate, which is one of the big torii gates, which are there like throughout Japan. So one of the bigger ones. So you should definitely visit that. Then for food, Kawa, you have sushi, you have crab. Then jibuni, which is duck. Or then we have fugu nukazuke, or pufferfish. Then we have the ruby Roman grapes, amazing grapes in Ishikawa. Then we have the Kanazawa version of curry. So we're looking at all of that, with knowing all of that, and with that we give Fukui E tier. There's not a lot. Okay, there's barely anything. Like out of all these, if I personally had to go to one place, it would be Omicho Market and the Motor Car Museum. I'll put Fukui in E tier because as much as it is, a lot of these places are mostly in Kanazawa city. So like it is more like visiting Kanazawa than Ishikawa prefecture. And the foods itself also, most of them are in Kanazawa as well. So yeah, Ishikawa goes to E tier. Then prefecture number 18 is Fukui. So in Fukui, firstly we have Maruoka Castle, beautiful, really beautiful castle. Then we have the Dinosaur Station and Museum. So yes, Fukui is the place in Japan where dinosaur bones and stuff were found. So they have turned the entire prefecture / Fukui city into a dinosaur themed place. I think that's also one of the places where you get like very salty ramen. Then we have the Hakusan Shrine and Tanora Beach. Really nice places as well. It's a beach, it's a shrine, always ready to be visit one of those. Then for foods, we have this thing called sauce katsudon. So katsudon that you get like cutlet and rice. You just pour sauce on it and it's a sauce cut. Then we have this thing called Oroshi Soba, Fukui's version of soba. We have Echizen crab, regional crab. Mackerel fish, wakasa fugu, also puffer fish. Then we have fried tofu, it's like a tofu dish. Then vurga rice, which is like a different version of omu rice. Then we have this thing called dechiyo, which is like this dessert that is like similar to jelly. So with all this, we can see like, Fukui is a lot more about food and dinosaurs. Very weird combination, but yeah, this is it. So with that, I'll give Fukui a D tier because dinosaurs are pretty cool. I'd probably visit Fukui city, but not the rest of the prefecture because I visit Fukui for the dinosaurs though. The dinosaurs are worth it. So in the second last prefecture for today, that is Yamanashi, we have the first place, that is Yamanashi. This is where we reach the peak. Like this is where prefectures start going up more, because to me, I prefer southern Japan over northern Japan. So in Yamanashi, we start off with Lake Kawaguchiko, which is the lake that is literally below Mount Fuji. Then we have the Fuji-Q Highland Park, so which is this amusement park which is just near Mount Fuji, so they just called it Fuji-Q. And I think it has one of the biggest roller coasters in Japan. Then we have the Chureito Pagoda, which has one of the most iconic views of Mount Fuji. Then we have the Aokigahara forest, which is, if you know a certain YouTuber who went to Japan and took videos, and he went to a certain forest, and he got cancelled, and his name rhymes with Dogen Ball, that guy. Yeah, this is that place. Yeah. So basically, Aokigahara is also known as the. I don't really want to say the word because Spotify won't really like if I say the word, but it's a forest where people have unalived themselves a lot. It's the unalive forest. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Then we have the Take Shrine, or the Takeda Jinja, also a really beautiful shrine. Coming over to foods, we have this thing called Hoto, which is this noodle dish, but it is like a very thick noodle dish, like thick noodles. Then we have Yoshida Udon, Yamanashi's version of udon. Then we have this thing called Awabi no Nigai, which is basically abalone. Then we have the Kofu Torimatsuni, or chicken offal. Like it's the entrails, the internal organs of the fish that is used. And in India, we kind of do eat those. Like, we don't really take those out. Like, when you make chicken at home, you do eat the liver, the kidneys, although you do eat them. So I do like it a lot. So it is very famous here in Yamanashi. Then we have grapes. Then we have Fujimabu, this dish that is regional around Mount Fuji, that is called Fujimabushi, which is this rice and fish dish, which is regional to near Mount Fuji. Then moving on to the last now. So with all that, I will rate Yamanashi Prefecture a solid A. Because it's near Mount Fuji, man. Like, why wouldn't I rate it A? Like, it's one of the most beautiful places. Then in coming over to the last prefecture for today, that is Nagano. Again, another one of my favorite places. The second Jigokudani, not to be compared to the first one, that is Hell's Valley. This is actually more like a park. It's called Jigokudani Monkey Park. Yes. So it's basically also a hot spring, not that different. But here, instead of humans bathing, I mean, even there, humans don't bathe. But here, monkeys bathe. Snow monkeys taking bath. And it's snow monkeys, white little monkeys. Oh, like 20 around monkeys, 20, 30 monkeys just taking a bath. So cool. Then we have the Zenkoji temple. Again, it's a shrine. There's a lot of them. It's also beautiful. Then we have the Nakasendo trail, which is this really nice and very long, actually, hiking trail, which you should definitely, if you have the time, you should definitely attempt it. It is very, very serene, very beautiful. Then we have the Shiraito Falls, another one of the rare waterfalls in Japan. Very beautiful. We have Kappabashi, which is this bridge in Japan. It's a suspension bridge over the Azusa River, which is also a very pretty beautiful place. Then we have Naraijuku, which is a historic post town, like a postal town, which is, I think it's one of the important stops of the Nakasendo trail. So yeah, it is Naraijuku is specifically the 34th stop of the 69 stations of Nakasendo. So basically like a halfway point. So yeah, from that, moving on to foods, we have this thing called oyaki dumplings, Nagano's versions of dumpling. They have gyunyu pan, or milk bread, which is one of the best versions of bread in Japan. Then we have gohan mochi, which is like this rice, miso, walnuts, and this thing called as egoma. It's like a mochi made out of all these things, and rice being the mochi part of it. Then we have the shinsu miso ramen, which is special version of ramen, of miso ramen. Then we have the which is something I feel a lot of people would be very scared to try, but it is actually horse sashimi, and sashimi is usually raw meat. So yeah, raw horse. Then we have the sanzoku yaki, which is fried chicken. Very always, why would you say no to fried chicken? And finally, soba noodles. Nagano is known for its soba noodles, so definitely try them out if you go there. So with that, I'll give Nagano a B tier. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool place for fishes. It's a pretty cool place to look at monkeys and eat a lot of food. So with that, we will stop this week's half of rating prefectures of Japan. We're nearly halfway there. but not there yet. Moving on out from that, like, let's talk about other stuff. Like, I've been watching anime, has been going well. I watched the new Bleach episode today. Amazing. There are some really cool there's a lot of anime exclusive stuff in it, so really cool to see that. I went out today, and me and a friend, we went to this shop called Miniso, and she wanted to look at stuff, browsing. And then I was like, I saw this perfume, which was, I didn't remember the name, but like the scent, the fragrance of it was named Burden of Dreams. And I told her this, that, I'm gonna talk about this on the podcast. Like, what the fuck does Burden of Dreams smell like? And they didn't have a tester, so I couldn't try it. Like, what the fuck does that smell like? Huh? Does Burden of Dreams smell like poverty or something? I don't know. What the hell is that? Like, why are perfumes having such abstract fucking names? Like, Burden of Dreams. The fuck is that? What is that? Other than knowing the smell of Burden of Dreams, I am going to probably stream today. That is, technically, I will have streamed yesterday as of the uploading of this podcast. I hope I upload this on Monday. If not, day before yesterday, if I'm uploading this on Tuesday. So I will stream on Sunday. That is, as of recording this episode, today. Today's Sunday. So I will probably stream more Yakuza 0 today. So yeah, that is actually it. I haven't been doing a lot. Next week onwards will be a lot more fun, because I will be streaming a lot more. So I'll actually have a lot more shit to talk about. If there has been stuff going on in the back that you heard, I am sorry, but it is what it is. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.